Imagine you are out at dinner with two friends. You all graduated from the same school. You have been working for 5 years. And here is the kicker, you all make the same exact salary. Let's call it $50,000 a year. At the end of the night, you pull up your banking app just to see where everyone stands. And you, being the American, have managed to scrap together $2,250 in your saving account. Your friends from Germany is sitting on $5,500. And your friend from China, yes, over $20,000. Same salary, but completely different outcomes. And it has almost nothing to do with discipline. If you're someone who works 40, 50 hours a week and feels like your bank account is leaky bucket where the money vanishes before you even see it, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Now, we're going to figure out exactly why this is happening to you. Hmm. Here is the thing most people don't realize. Your saving rate isn't just a reflection of your discipline. It is actually a reflection of your culture, system, and history. This number reflects a real global pattern, something economists call household saving rate. It is simply the percentage of your income that you don't spend. We have been taught to believe that some people are just naturally better with money, while others are spender. But when we look at it country by country, the differences are staggering. The average US saving is roughly 4.5%. In Germany, it is 11. In Switzerland, it is around 19%. And in China, it is shockingly 43%. Today, we're going to dive into the mathematics and psychology of why American, Europeans, and Asians think about money in completely different languages. We're going to talk about the historical trauma, the safety net paradox, and why a monthly payment might be the very thing keeping you poor. By the end of this, I am going to give you three actionable steps you can steal from these cultures to rewrite your own financial DNA. Let's start with US. The US economy is essentially a giant machine designed to separate you from your gas. Consumer spending drives approximately 70% of the US GDP. That means the entire system, businesses, politicians, marketers, all wants Americans to spend. The economy does not grow when you save, it grows when you buy. And the infrastructure too helps you to spend everywhere. Total consumer debt in US hit $18.2 trillion by the end of 2025. Credit cards, car loans, buy now, pay later schemes. The American financial system makes it almost frictionless to spend money you don't yet have. Now you might be thinking it is because everything is so expensive, but that is only the halfway story. Then there is the retirement problem. For most of the 20th century, American companies provided pensions. Your employers saved for retirement automatically. But over the last few decades, the system was replaced by 401k plans, where you have to opt in yourself. And the behavioral research consistently shows when saving is optional, most people do not do it. But perhaps the deepest reason is culture. In America, wealth has traditionally been displayed, not hidden. Big house, new car, latest phones. Status is shown through what you spend, not what you have quietly accumulated. There's even a phrase for it, keeping up with your Joneses. The pressure to appear successful often trumps the drive to actually become it. And here is the uncomfortable truth. This wasn't accidental. For over 100 years, American businesses and advertisers actively promoted the idea that buying things is what successful people do. The spending culture was built deliberately to fuel the economic growth. American didn't end up this way by accident. It was designed. Now let's cross the Atlantic. Europe is often presented as one block, but when it comes to money, it is actually deeply divided. Germany saves around 11%, Switzerland saves around 90%. The high saving countries share something, a cultural belief that financial caution is a virtue, not a manipulation. It is not just a personal habit, it is a cultural identity. Being careful with money is considered as a sign of character. This is where it gets really interesting. A lot of people assume that if the government provides healthcare and pensions, people will save less because they don't need to worry, right? Wrong. It's actually the opposite. This is safety net paradox. Even though Germans have some of the highest taxes and most robust social safety nets in the world, they still save double what Americans do. Why? Because Europeans generally view money as a means to an end, not the end itself. They have a work to live rather than a live to work philosophy. They don't show off status through a 4,000 square foot mansion. In fact, the average new American's home is more than twice the size of a new home in Spain or France. Instead, Europeans spend on quality over quantity, durable goods, 5 books holidays, and experiences. Now, if you think the Europeans are saviors, look at Asia. This isn't just frugality, it is something far deeper. To understand it, you have to go back in history. Over the past hundred of years, much of Asia has experienced financial catastrophe on the scale that hard to imagine if you grew up in the stable Western economy. If you look at China, their 43% saving rate isn't just discipline, it's fear. It is built over generations of instability from the Cultural Revolution to the 1997 Asian financial crisis. When your grandparents lived through a time where wealth could have vanished overnight, you learn the cash is the only real shield. In China, historically, over 80% of property purchased were made in cash. In the US, it is under 40%. And there is a cultural concept here that Westerners often miss family as insurance. In many Asian cultures, the children are the return plan. Parents will sacrifice everything, living harshly, saving 50% of their income to pay for their children's education and home down payments. In return, the children are expected to support their parent in old age. It is chain of financial obligations. You aren't just saving for yourself. You're saving for your bloodline. Think about the red envelope tradition. At the Lunar New Year, the children are gifted with cash, but they are not told to go to buy a video game. They are taught to save it. By the time a Chinese child is 20, they have already had 20 years of practice in the save first, spend later mindset. But what happens if you don't have access to bank? This is where Asia and part of global South have had the system using something called a ROSCA, or Rotating Saving and Credit Association. In China, it is a we. In Indonesia, it is an Alshan. In India, it is a cheat fund. Here is a math. 10 friends get together. Every month, everyone put 100 into a pot. That's 1000. Everyone, a person takes the whole 1000. By the end of 10 months, everyone has received a lump sum. It's a poor man bike based entirely on trust. It forces you to save because you don't want to let your friend down. There is no interest, no paperwork, just social capital. Now, before we get to the actionable steps, I have to mention what's happening in India right now because it's a warning for all of us. For decades, Indians were safe savers. They brought gold and fixed deposits. But younger generations, millennials and Gen Zs, is shifting towards stocks, mutual funds, and SIPs. That's so good, right? Investing in the market. Well, here is a problem. At the same time, consumption is exploding. People are borrowing more for lifestyle upgrades. India's net household saving recently hit a 40-year low, about 5% of GDP. They are moving from Asian model of survival saving towards the American model of consumption borrowing. And experts are worried that millions of families are losing their safety cushion. So, what do we do? We can't change where we will, but we can rewrite our programming. Here are three things you can do today. Still, the Asian saving as Bill mentioned. In many Asian households, saving is the first expense, not what is left over at the end of the month. Use the 50-30-20 rule: 50% for need, 30 for wants, and 20% for saving. Automate that 20% to leave your account the second your paycheck hit. If you don't see it, you want to spend it. Still the European quality over quantity rule. Stop asking about the monthly payment. Follow the one-tenth rule for cars. The value of your car should not exceed 10% of your gross annual income. If you make $50,000, you drive 5,000 car. Use that save money to buy 10 and experiences instead of stuffs. Still, the Japanese Kakibo journal. Kakibo translates to household financial leisure. It's slow budgeting. Every night, spend 2 minutes writing down what you spend in four categories: survival, wants, culture, and extra. Research shows that the physical act of writing makes you more mindful, which naturally kills impulse spending. Now, here's the final truth: your bank account isn't a scorecard of your value as a person, it is a map of the stories you have been told about what money is. If you have been told that money is for status, you will always be broke. If you have been told it is for character, you will be stable. If you have been told it is for survival, you will be wealthy. The good news: you get to choose which story you want to live. So, which country's approach do you most relate to? Are you an Indian millennial seeing the borrowing trap happen in real time? Or are you a spender trying to become a German sheep? Drop it in the comments below and share this video to more people who needs to hear this.